a violin prodigy who swept the local music scene and went global. Violinist DAMI Kim, dubbed the Queen of Competitions, won second prize at the 53rd International Violin Competition Premio Paganini, where no first prize was awarded, and also won the 8th International Josep Joachim Violin Competition, Hanover. Let's meet violinist DAMI Kim, who is commuting between Korea and abroad and splitting her time between school and concert. Thank you so much for opening our show today with a beautiful violin piece. I'd like to introduce you. Joining us today on Heart to Heart is up-and-coming violinist DAMI Kim. Welcome to Heart to Heart. Would you like to say hello to our viewers that are watching?
Hello, my name is DAMI Kim. I'm a Korean violinist, and it's a big pleasure to be in this show, and I really look forward to our conversation.
Thank you once again for joining us. It's an honor to have you as our guest on our show. I know that you are very, very busy. So once again, thank you for agreeing to join us on our program. Now, you opened up our show, as I mentioned briefly, with a beautiful violin piece. So could you please begin by telling us about that?
Yes, I played my favorite composer, Bach. It's a movement from Partita No. 2 of his piece called Sarabang, and it's a slow dance movement, and it's the atmosphere of this movement is very sad, but it's one of my favorite pieces. So even if it's not a perfect piece to open this wonderful show, I just thought it would be meaningful to play this piece in the opening.
I thought it was beautiful, and I'm sure our viewers agree with me as well. So thank you once again. Now, DAMI, you began playing the violin at age 5, and you entered the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia. You won numerous awards at many, many competitions, earning the nickname Queen of Competitions. How do you feel about being nicknamed the Queen of Competitions?
Well, it's a comment that not everyone does get.
That's true.
So I would say I feel quite honored.
And I would like to add, once a queen, always a queen.
Oh, thank you.
All right, now you are the recipient of a number of awards and honors, but I heard that there was a time that you didn't have your own instrument. Now this was before you were going to enter a competition, so you had to practice and perform in the competition with a borrowed violin. But you produced such stellar results at the competition, although you did perform or play with a borrowed violin. So would you like to add to that?
Yes, it was not an easy job to get used to playing a certain instrument that was very new to me. Well, it could actually take, in order to get used to playing one instrument could take actually up to an year.
That long?
Yes, for a long period of time, through many trainings. But the violin that I was using before while participating in competitions, I mean, if one participates in international big competitions, I could see so many performers bringing such a good violins, such as like Stradivarius, Guarneri, which costs enormous amount of money. So participating with just a normal, not very good instrument borrowed from a school was not actually, it couldn't be a big merit for a participant. So that's why I decided to, even if it takes so long to get used to one violin, and I actually knew that it would be a very hard job to get used to it. I still decided to just borrow it, and it actually gave me. This is some kind of behind story, but after participating the Paganini competition in 2010, I borrowed this instrument for 3 weeks. I started using this instrument that I borrowed temporarily from a week before that I went to Italy to participate in this competition. So which was a very short period of time. But I practiced and practiced for hours and hours to get used to it. And after playing the semifinal round, I felt something was going wrong with my arm. But I moved on to the next round, which was final round. And I finished playing, and I got the top prize. And I got back home, and I realized that I actually got the tendonitis through that experience because the size and the angle of the fingerboard, everything is very sensitive with violins, and everything was very different from the one that I was using. So right after the competition, I had to take some rest for maybe 2 months.
2 months, that's a long time.
That was very long time.
Right.
Yes. But luckily, after resting for 2 months, I felt better and didn't have any problems afterwards until now. So that was quite lucky because if a musician gets this kind of tendonitis problem, it could actually last more than maybe 5 years.
Now, practicing for major competitions must be different from, practicing for, let's say, concerts or recitals, or it must be different. Do you practice any differently, like in terms of time, method, when it comes to, how different is it when you practice for major competitions and smaller concerts or recitals? How is it different?
The amount of the repertoire for competitions is enormous, right? But even if the repertoire, the amount is huge, and it might not be possible to cover everything every day while practicing. But what I always had to make sure was try to cover as many pieces I can every day, so that, for example, you have to prepare like 10 different composers of pieces. But if I get to concentrate just 1 or 2 composers for days, it means I have less chance to prepare different composers' pieces for days, right? So I kind of want to avoid that. So every day, even if it's very short period of time, maybe for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, for me, it was very important to just practice every piece every day while preparing a large amount of pieces.
You did mention something about performing and feeling comfortable while, performing. You've been playing the violin for so long, since age 5, just a little girl, a tiny girl actually. I'm curious as to know if there is a music piece. I'm sure there are several. Could you tell us about a piece or a couple of the pieces that give you the most comfort or even strength?
Well, if I talk about my favorite composer, is the composers in classical period, like Beethoven, Mozart, Bach. Bach is from Baroque period, but Bach is Bach, father of music. Those people, those composers are my favorite. But when I want to feel a comfort, I often perform this piece as my encore piece after, let's say, after a recital or a concert with orchestra. It's called Meditation, Thai's Meditation by this composer called Masne. Yes, I've been playing this for years.
I see. Could you, okay, please don't say no. Could you possibly play a little part of the piece for us? I'm sure our listeners, our viewers are dying to listen to you actually perform here with us. Could you? Oh, thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Oh, thank you, yes.
Sure.
So, yes.
Okay.
So you have to kind of warm your fingers up?
I do, but I'll just play.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. I actually felt a sense of comfort.
Oh,
yes, it was
that's
very
great.
warm and beautiful and very comfortable to listen to.
One really interesting thing about Dami is that she's very shy and quiet, and she's extremely polite and introverted. But once she picks up the violin, there is so much fire and passion and intensity coming out, and it's always really amazing to watch.
She doesn't say too much, but when she does, it's a very meaningful comment. And I think everyone who played with her would agree with me that she always makes such great, comfortable atmosphere before performances. You always feel great going out on stage with her. It's such a wonderful experience.
Dami, as I'm sure everybody who knows her knows that she's incredibly professional when it comes to making music. She gives 100% of her energy and delivers 120%, and it's amazing how she carries through her busy schedule with such poise and charisma, and yet always find time to learn more and thrives to be better. And when she finally gets some time to herself, I think it's really cute that she finds greatest joy in the simplest things, like having a cup of tea or watching and sharing the latest funny viral videos with friends. I feel really lucky to be her friend, and I look forward to our next 20 years of friendship.
You've earned worldwide attention by winning awards at various competitions, big and small concours. And your concert at the Lucerne Festival 2005, it was such a highlight that, of course, all the tickets were just sold out instantly, I believe. And I was told that not everyone is given the opportunity to actually participate in the Lucerne Festival. So tell us about the festival and the events, and as much as you would like to about.
So Lucerne Festival is one of the most well-known, famous festivals in the world. It's a very old festival, and so it has long history. So I felt actually very honored to be able to make a debut recital there. But the occasion that I got this chance was very spontaneous. It was not as planned at all. There was this concert in Japan that I was playing, and it was a concert in a series in a festival, music festival in Japan. So every day there was concert while I was there. But I was just playing in one concert. But so I finished my recital, and then the next day there was one violinist from Japan who all of a sudden canceled.
Oh.
And since I was there for the concert the day before, the organization of the festival, they asked me if I could replace the violinist.
Wow.
And I did with a different repertoire that I played the night before. And that was the night that the director of Lucerne Festival just like passed by, and he heard the story that I'm replacing someone, and he saw my recital, and then right after the concert, he just invited me to his festival. So could you play in my festival? It's a Lucerne Festival, which I was very surprised, but I felt very honored to be able to play in the festival, which was actually not planned at all. But it actually almost felt like a miracle to me, that moment.
It's amazing. It's so nice how those surprises just pop up, those opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah, so you should grab that opportunity, that chance whenever you can or when you're given the chance.
Yeah.
Was entering such competitions ever like a mental burden to you? I'm sure, you get stressed out.
Yes.
It's not easy to enter or participate in such big competitions. So was there a time when or what was the most, I guess, difficult moment for you while preparing for or entering a competition?
Every time I enter a competition, even if it's a big or it doesn't matter with the size of the competition, I always felt so stressed. I felt this kind of pressure that I have to win a prize.
Is that right?
Yes. So that's probably why when I participated my very last competition in 2014, Indianapolis competition, I actually saw a video of myself playing in that competition, and I felt very shocked by my playing, that I actually felt my playing was, I could feel that I was very stressed from my playing. It's very subtle thing that I noticed, but all the musical expression seemed very, very sharp. Yes, but when I think about music, it's always, I feel like the music my music has to appreciate the audience. It always have to, the audience who is listening to my music have to feel relaxed.
Yes.
And I don't know, they should be appreciated. But the playing that I was playing in the competition felt very pressured, very stressed out. So that was the moment that I decided maybe this is the time that I should retire from participating in competitions. And I also thought done quite enough in my life that I am actually allowed to just stop doing it. So yes, every competition I felt burdened.
I see. So you figured it was about time to give yourself a pat on the back and say, you did well.
Yes.
You worked hard enough, so it's okay for you to now just, relax and just enjoy what you can when you can.
Right.
Yeah, I guess, when you enter such competitions, especially if you win a lot of awards and honors, I guess that's one reason why more stress builds up, and so you end up stressing out even more, perhaps feeling a stronger or heavier burden to win or do even better or continue to do as well.
Yes,
I see.
Because I was lucky enough to be able to get prizes from every competition that I went.
Yes.
So every time I participate in another competition, it felt like, what if I don't get a prize this time? Unlike last time.
I see.
I think in order to make the audience comfortable, in order to give them a comfort as a musician, is while I am playing, I should be the one who feels comfortable with music. But I thought keep participating in competition doesn't help to give me a comfort. So that's why I stopped.
I see. Now, there are many celebrated violinists in Korea, but I'd like to ask you what you think is your strength that sets you apart from all the other violinists.
Yes. I do get this question sometimes. The number one that I feel the most important to my music is to be able to communicate with the audience, especially the occasion that I'm on stage. It's more like storytelling to the audience. So I always talk about the music that I was working on, the process that I've been thinking. So all these musical ideas on stage, it's very important to me to just let it out and just to be able to communicate with the audience. I've been working on this kind of music. Would you like to listen to what I've been working on? I would say my strength is the ability of communication.
I like how you put that. It's like conversing with your audience, and I like how you kind of compared it to telling a storytelling.
Yes.
Because you may tell the same story. Okay, there may be 10 people telling the same story, but each and every person tells the story in their own language.
Yes.
Through their expressions, with the choice of their words. So I think that was I like how you put that.
Yes, every musician has a different idea. And it's actually a privilege for the audience to be able to listen to all the different ideas. So I would like to enjoy it.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with every concert that you hold here in Korea and, of course, in the future. And I know that you will be returning to school very, very soon. I hope that you'll be able to make great memories in Korea with your family, friends, even your audiences, and with your concerts as well. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you.